Today on Hot Tub Beer Review, we're going to be trying Yeah Toast from Gizmo Brew Works from Brewery, North Carolina. Thanks for joining us. Hey everybody, welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show where we give your unprofessional and somewhat biased opinion about the beer that we are drinking and reviewing. We've done that a lot now. Appreciate you checking out this video. If you've not done so, go ahead, like and subscribe and cheers that notification bell. We appreciate that, and it is free to do. We've got Wes with us yet again. Wes, thank you for joining us. It's good to see you again. Good to share a beer with you. If people, as always, want to check you out outside of Hopped Up Beer Review, how can they do that?
Yeah, if anybody wants to follow me, I am on Instagram at 1218 Brewing.
All right, go ahead and pause the video. We got a link down below with Wes's Instagram. Come back though, because this is going to be a fun one. You don't want to miss it. So we've also got Andy in the attic. I've got Jay. Per the normal, I am Ben. Gentlemen, what in the world are we drinking today?
Yeah, toast.
Yeah, toast.
From Gizmo Brew Works. I'm excited about this one because Wes has told us about it already.
All right, let's crack it open and get going.
Yep.
Ooh, that sounded exciting.
Y'all got it.
That's because he just did it right beside the microphone.
No, it's all up in my hand.
He's trying to be dramatic. Do you need a cleanup on aisle 6, Andy?
It was eager to emerge. It's just
wow,
that's impressive.
I will not lie. Looking at this can,
did the same thing, Andy.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Looking at the can we got, this was one I was super excited to try. So,
Andy, do you need a moment?
I tilted, and I mean, this is what I get. Jeez.
Was yours the one making all the noise?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I wasn't sure who it was. I guess we can do a please stand by here moment while we wait for Andy's phone to die down.
Cue it.
All right, and after 2 days of Andy's phone going down, we are back.
Should have changed shirts.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers.
Yeah, toast.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, toast is a brown ale. 5.8%. A French toast brown ale, as the can art implies. Got notes of maple syrup, sugar, cinnamon, and vanilla. And it's a light and bready body. Wesley, you've had this beer before, correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any more information to add to that before you review it? Because you're going to go last since you're the only one that's had it.
Yeah.
Any more that I did not find out on the interwebs? Okay.
No, it's just French toast brown ale, maybe, if I can get it out.
This is from Gizmo Brew Works. This is our first Gizmo Brew Works, I believe, because I don't remember looking these guys up. Out of Raleigh, North Carolina. Microbrewery, founded in 2013. They have tap rooms in Durham and Chapel Hill as well. But this, the brewery in this location went out of business originally before it became Gizmo. And so it was bought out by some former customers to establish the Gizmo. And Gizmo is not a reference to the gremlin It is like a little gadgets, type of thing. It's like the
So,
gear, in the logo is like a little gear.
Andy, this quote's read. I mean, it's written just specifically for you and for a lot of the things we do. You might want to reference that there too.
There's a lot of words there. I mean, it says the most important meal of the day. I
We
am
always
a
we always talk
normalized morning
about
beers kind of guy. I'm a
normalize.
breakfast
Yeah.
guy. And I think that a beer for breakfast should not be scorned or looked down upon because, people have Bloody Marys, people have mimosas, it's like, well, that's just alcohol for breakfast. Why can't you have a beer with certain breakfast items like sugar,
Yeah. I mean, it
cinnamon,
gets the juices flowing. I mean, it
milk,
says it here. It's
pastries,
a ability to
fruits.
awaken the palate for the day ahead is
Yeah.
unmatched.
I mean,
So
you just
normalize morning beers.
have this and say you had toast, right? It just
Right.
happened to be
Yeah.
toast.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I had toast. Yeah,
I had a French toast breakfast, and
yeah.
it was delicious.
All right, is that the does
That's
that
all I'm going to
round
say about
out
it.
the information that we have here?
It's rounded.
Wes, anything to add? Given
Have
that
you
this
been to
is your home
Gizmo?
state,
Yes, I have been there several times. In a previous insurance job whose headquarters is in Raleigh, North Carolina. Um, so it was just right down the road from the headquarters, and a lot of their beer is really good. They've got a honey wheat beekeeper, I think is the name of it, that's really good. Their black stiletto stout is probably, I think it's the first Gizmo beer that I had. It was actually on draft at a local steakhouse. So um, a lot of good beers. Um, just a cool. They do a lot of experimental stuff, and they seem to have the attitude of I think we can try this and put it into a beer, and most of the time it works. So, yeah, their fake news is I've told you about other first beers that I've had, but fake news is their New England IPA, and the first time I'd ever heard of a New England IPA was at Gizmo and tried it, and I was like, I don't know about this, but then after the first couple sips, I was like, okay, I'm hooked.
No way this
So
is going to
yeah.
take off. These New England IPAs.
Right.
It will
Yeah.
never catch on.
Yeah.
all right, Wes, you've obviously had this one that was referenced earlier here in the show. Hopped Up Beer Review tradition, if you've not watched us, and I mean you've been missing out, is that whoever has not had the beer gets to go first. Jay hasn't had the beer, so he gets to go first for this one.
I always
The
get to go
tradition is
first.
whoever has had the beer goes last. And if nobody's had the beer, Jay goes first.
Right. Yeah, well, it's all right. This is a delicious beer. I would love to see more Gizmo for sure. You can definitely, like you said, Wes, you get the maple syrup, you get the sugar, you get the cinnamon it comes across. I don't vanilla is probably there, but the vanilla is probably overpowered by some of the cinnamon and other things in there. To me, um, it's rich. It's one of those. It would be a dessert or a breakfast beer. You put it in one of those categories where you're only going to have it maybe once. I can't sit there and drink two, three, four of these for sure. But it's a great beer. I'm going to go with an 8 on it. Uh, really appreciate you sharing this one.
All right, Andy and Lay Attic, French toast. What say you?
Please, this is a Spanish attic, so it's
Sorry.
L. That's E.
Forgive me.
No, it's unforgivable. I mean, it's fun. It's in terms of a brown ale, you can detect a brown ale underneath all the cinnamon and the maple. It's still there. It's it gives a sharp taste. It's there's something maybe a little acid to it right at the back end, but I get that, and but it's as it said, it was light and bready. It is light. It is still light. It is very carbonated, and as we had to take the break earlier, but I get the bread from it. I'm not turned off about it. This is a good beer. I'm giving it a 7.5. I'm a fan, but it's just got that little touch of sharpness to it that I'm like, I can't figure it out. But it's maybe it's the cinnamon that's keeping me. It's like the cinnamon challenge where you try and eat a spoonful of just cinnamon and you just look like a fool.
Yeah, and we're gonna have some shorts on that later after this beer. We're gonna all do the cinnamon challenge, and we'll put some shorts out on that, right? All right, so yeah, I'll go next. So on the nose for this one, this was all maple syrup, and then the flavor for me is mostly cinnamon. It's definitely light, definitely bready. It reminds me a lot of when I was growing up. My mom would make basically cinnamon toast. You know, it's bread with butter and cinnamon and sugar, and that's what it reminds me of. Kind of encapsulated in a beer. It's not near that sweet, but that's just. I took the first sip, and with the name and everything, that's kind of where my head went. Um, I think it's a fun beer, but I'm with you guys. It's not one that you're going to have more than one of in a night because it is kind of that dessert beer. I don't think it's overly sweet necessarily, but just the flavors that come across, it's again not something you're going to drink two, three, four of. I'm with you, Andy. Definitely on the back end, I get that kind of. It's not. It's hard to describe, as you mentioned. It's just kind of a sharpness. I think is the best description I could come up with because I was sitting here trying to think of something too. But it's just something that's a little. I don't want to say off, but it's just different. And to that point, my 7.5 was my number as well. I was right there with you on that. I think it's a fun beer, definitely a good one to have, and glad we got to try it. So thanks, Wes, for supplying it. And yeah, 7.5.
To Wes's credit, though, I think the time he had this before in the past, he had it on draft. I would love to try something like this on draft or get any Gizmo on draft.
Yeah.
So
Well, let's hear from the man himself. You've had it on draft. You've had it in the can now. What do you think of what we're drinking here now?
Yeah, no, so I agree with you guys. So I went back, I was just checking on Untapped what I rated it before. Um, on draft, I rated it a 4.5 out of 5. It was absolutely amazing and probably the best beer out of all of them I had that night. I had a couple flights, and this was definitely top of the charts. In the can, though, I see exactly what you guys are saying. On the back end, there's that sharpness, there's that something, however you
Twang,
want
maybe,
to.
maybe
Yeah.
twang.
Oh, there's the
Nobody,
word. There
Twang.
is
nobody
the word.
I
ever
think that's the word I was looking for.
discusses a taste as twang. Twang is the Tennessee Hills. That's twang.
Yeah. Twang is that loose banjo string. But yeah,
Correct.
no,
A
this one,
sound.
yeah, right. Yeah, there you go. And so I wouldn't rate this out of a can as high as I would on draft, which most of the time, most beers you wouldn't. Draft is typically better than can, bottle, whatever. But still, give me some good salty country ham, some eggs, and biscuits and gravy in this rascal,
Man,
and oh, count me in all day long. I will absolutely cancel the rest of the day just to have this as a morning beer.
Hungry.
It's really a really good beer. Enjoy it. Glad to share it with you guys. Glad y'all enjoyed it as well. I think for that little bit of whatever it is on the back end, I think I'm going to bring it down to a seven, 7.5. Yeah, 7.5. But but it's, I would give it another shot. I wouldn't take that little bit of off flavor or whatever it is on the back end and discredit it. But yeah, I'd seek it out again. Would definitely drink it again if I saw it on draft, and would definitely normalize morning beers with Andy in this one.
I think if you take this flavor of this beer and you slap it on a biscuit, I mean, I'm there all day long, right? I mean, I think this is like a jam, a jelly, whatever.
That's true. Like,
Just
slap
slap it.
that
I think that's
with
Yeah,
the back
I'm
of the
calling
hand.
in a sick day
Hey,
and
the
just
front.
enjoying it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Backhand slap.
Well, it's good. Thanks, Wes.
Absolutely.
That will be a 7.6 for the Yeah Toast from Gizmo Brew Works. Definitely a morning beer, if there ever was one. I think this is one that if you find, you've got to give a shot and slap it on a biscuit, y'all. I mean, come on. This is the one to do it. So
Or
jump
cook
in
your
there.
breakfast sausage in it. I mean, come on.
This is your
no.
your
Wow.
biscuit slapping
There you go.
page. You know.
I think the sausage there might be a separate episode there. Here maybe this next weekend if we had some more. But no, appreciate you guys checking out this video. Wes, appreciate you joining us yet again for another beer. The 122nd time you've done that. So thanks for jumping in. How can people reach you outside of Hopped Up Beer Review?
Yeah, thank you guys for letting me jump on again. If anybody wants to follow me, it is 1218 Brewing on Instagram.
And for both of our followers, well, the other follower who's not Wes, you should jump on over to Wes's Instagram and right now and be sure to follow Wes. So, Wes, we expect the uptick to go up by one if they haven't followed you on any of the other 146 episodes. So, with that, be sure to like, subscribe, cheers, that notification bell. It is free to do, and we would definitely appreciate that. Check. Oh, you throw me off when you pull up the glass at the end. Check out all our links for social media down below. Come say hey on our Hopped Up Beer Review Discord server. It's a chat room. The four of us are there, and that is how Wes ended up being so unlucky to be on our show here with us. He joined us.
Give us pennies.
Hopped Up Beer Review, and started chatting with us, and we did some beer swaps, and he is here. Also, you have any interest in any Hopped Up Beer Review merch? Jay's already showed all that off. And then if you have any interest in any of the equipment that we use to record the show or the glassware, it's all down below. Check out the description. It's all there. Did I forget anything?
Nope. Cheers, mates.
Jay apparently has a hot day tonight. So with that, for Andy in the attic and Jay and Wes, I'm Ben. Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Just trying to keep you on schedule, Ben.